It takes our time. Okay, I think it's fine. Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna make it big. Can we put? Yeah. So feel free to sit here if you want. All right. We're live. Are we on? Yes. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to OpenHack's 2020 Stockholm Hackathon. I am your host, Dimitris, the OpenHack's innovation platform developer and a computer science student at Stockholm University. So we are OpenHack, and our mission is to facilitate the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through the open source development. We are a company and a collaborative community where ideas and knowledge are exchanged and built upon in order to solve pressing societal challenges through open source development. Our virtual and physical hackathons serve as a foundation where our innovations come to life. This is where we bring futurists, policymakers, aid organizations, civil society, representatives, and industry experts to work together to achieve our unique heights. So we hack, we do hackathons, we enable party dialogues and solutions development to pressing challenges. We empower, we harness our community's resources to support solutions development. And here is our awesome team. We start with Saba, event coordinator. Then we have Alejandro, the project manager. Then we have Dominica, the vice project manager. Then we have Vivek, the participants coordinator. Julia, the partner and sponsors coordinator. And we have Alexandra, the PR social media coordinator. So a few words about our schedule. Remember at 17:30 we have the case challenges presentation. So it's right after this presentation. At 18:00 we have, it's when the hacking starts. 7 o'clock, it's the UI and the UX web development, web design, sorry, with Jonas Söderström, UX strategist at Black Lazy. And 19:30, we have a talk enabling sustainable growth with AI and H&M Group with Errol Kuhlmeister and Felix Bonnier. Moving on to Saturday. So tomorrow we have our first mentor checkpoint. Be sure to not miss any checkpoints. This is really important to stress. Missing a checkpoint could result to disqualification. So keep that in mind, everybody. It's really important to meet all the mentor checkpoints. So at 10:30, we have a talk, how AI can help us solve planetary problems with Patrick Couch, business developer at IBM. At 1:30, we have Peach Workshop with Welcome Larry. At 16:30, we have a talk, digital marketing by senior digital marketing strategist, Lawrence Esposito, and CEO and founder, Marcus Mullen from the Blue Hands Digital. And then on 19:00, we have a talk about our sustainable development goals about the United Nations. Sustainable Development Goals, our common future, and how to move on with your idea after the hack with principal of Bermuda Media, Angela Bermudo. So at Sunday at 10, we have another mentor checkpoint, and that is the mentor checkpoint number 3. I think I missed at 5, we have the second mentor checkpoint. That is Saturday, 5 o'clock, and the third checkpoint is on Sunday at 10. Again, do not miss any checkpoints. And then we have at 12 o'clock our pitch preparation. And then we have at 4 o'clock deadline for team project submission, jury decision making, right? And at 6 o'clock, the winner's announcement and closing ceremony. So another announcement that I need to make is that we are going to extend the time for ideation phase to be sure that everyone will have enough time to share your ideas and create a team. You can start hacking that time, and you will have time to create the team until 9 a.m. on Saturday. If you're not in a team by Saturday at 9 a.m., then you will not be able to participate in the event. So that's another deadline to keep in mind, 9 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday. So again, the checkpoints, right? Be prepared to talk about your thoughts on checkpoint number 1, about the case, present your basic solution, technical stack, and scope. Moving on to mentor checkpoint number 2, working on core mechanics, solving problems, and blockers. So, and mentor checkpoint number 3, be prepared to present a demo of your solution. Yes. So, we have some winner times. Case challenge winners, general winner, and audience choice. And our dear sponsors, of course. Yes, our dear sponsors are providing us with some very nice prizes. And that's going to be presented to you in a short bit. Also remember that at 19:30, there is a talk with H&M. Do not miss that. The talks are not obligatory, but we very much recommend you to attend all the talks too. So let's see here. Trying to move the slide. There we go. All right, and we have our case providers. We have Svenska Freds. We have, beginning with Barnbyår, SAS Barnbyår, Sverige, Svenska Freds, Uppsala University Innovation and Sensitive, and Uppsala University Innovation and Sustainability Center. If you're now entering an innovation zone, please proceed with great ideas. Yes. So we are about to show you our videos. We might have a little technical difficulty here. Let's see if we can work this through. So in the meanwhile, we will introduce Alex Maxia. That is the lead mentor for a short talk.
Hello, my name is Alex, and I'm the founder of Lost in a Cup, which is one of the partners in this hackathon. My role as lead mentor is to help pair you up with your mentors and to make sure everything runs smoothly. So you find me on Discord, so feel free to send me a message if you got any questions about you can't get hold of your mentor and so forth. But the whole matching process is going to happen soon, and we're going to then pair you up with your mentors. A little bit more about me. I love hackathons. I've taken part in many in the past 2 years, both at a local level and Hack for Sweden, Hack the Crisis digitally. And most recently this week, I was also part of Nordic Smart City Hack. And I'm really happy to know, and just 2 hours ago, I found out that my team won one of the prizes in the hackathon. So I'm really, really happy about that. And yeah, I'm also a mentor in this hackathon. So if you got any questions about coming up with ideas and designing, yeah, I've got some experience with that, and I love the whole creative process. Really make the most of this. It's a great opportunity to learn a lot, to network, to meet new people, make new friends maybe, and yeah, and boost your skills and learn new skills. This is a great opportunity to do all that, and also present a cool idea and maybe win prizes and develop it further to bring improvements to society. And it's a really cool opportunity. So really have a great time and make the most of it. Don't be shy, ask loads of questions, and really use the mentors to get all the information out of that and create a great product. So best of luck for me, and feel free to reach out to me on Discord. And now back to Stockholm. Maybe? Oh, I can keep speaking a little bit more. So what else can I say? Yeah.
So I am back.
You're back. If not, I was about to start telling the story of my life, talk about coffee and about how that changes the world and makes it much nicer. But I'm glad you're back to take over. Super.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
No worries.
So let me share this screen. All right. Yes. That's yeah. Well, excuse me, guys. Give me 1 second.
The great thing about hackathons is that you also also the team organizing has to hack things. So it's part of the beauty of it. It's an exciting experience for everyone.
All right. So how do we screen the presentation mode? Okay, so now we have our case providers here that's going to present their case.
A very warm good evening, and thank you so much for joining Open Hack Stockholm 2020. I sincerely hope that every hacker here is safe and healthy in this pandemic. I am Kedar, and I welcome every one of you on behalf of Open Hack Stockholm 2020, Uppsala University Innovation and Sustainability Center. I will give you a brief introduction about us and what we do, and then we will discuss about the open case. All ideas should make an impact on society. Each year, great ideas emerge from research and education at Uppsala University. Ideas, under the right conditions, can make a world a better place. Every day, Uppsala University Innovation supports researchers and students on the road from knowledge to the value and from ideas to the innovation. All these times, Uppsala University Innovation work towards the increased exchange of expertise and ideas with companies and organizations in our environment. Sessions like Mentor for Research, Business Buildup adds the value to the researchers' ideas. Sustainability in a Center is a community platform for professionals, academics, and idealists, which its members and partners work on various projects of the United Nations Sustainability Agenda. We work on the sustainable development, open innovation, project management, collaboration, technical reporting, and events. As we all know, Sweden and many European countries are working towards sustainable development. But in the past decade, only 15% of the citizens take sustainability into account. Weird, isn't it? Sustainable models made by these countries are failing to meet the environmental targets. These targets are set by European Union and regional level. We at Sustainability in a Center, working with a part of larger European consortium, guiding for implementing the next generation of urban sustainable mobility policies, their strategies, and data-driven solutions. These solutions are meant to build for sustainable mobility. The idea is to develop a framework that brings together perspective of smart city managers, citizens, and state-of-the-art scientific insights into motivation strategies for sustainable mobility. For now, frameworks for changing mobility are not compatible if we consider city requirements. We also need to consider about citizens and how they can affect smart and sustainable mobility. For the hackers, we are looking for the solution which can help in the transition from conventional cities towards sustainable and smart mobility cities. We also expect from the hackers to consider how to make behavioral changes in the citizens to use more sustainable transports like bicycles, e-bikes, or even the public transport. How methods or behavioral economics could be applied to make a shift from conventional transport means to clean and sustainable mobility. I wish you very good luck, and for any information, hackers can contact me through my email.
All right, so that is Kedar. Thank you so much, Kedar, for your great presentation from Uppsala University Innovation Sustainability Center. All right, this was a pre-recorded case presentation, and thanks again. So moving next, we're moving to the next case from SOS Barnby Or.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thank you so much.
So I go for a screen to share my screen now. I hope you can see it, everyone. Can you do that? Thank you very, very much. I would have loved to seeing you all, but I can feel that you are out there somewhere. I get the feeling. It's a very strong feeling, to be honest. My name is Anna Ernestam. I'm the Secretary General for SOS Children Villages. And our vision is that every child belongs to a family and grows with love, respect, and security, because the future is really our children. Just a short background about SOS. We have more than 70 years of experience working with children in 136 countries around the world. We work very much and more now, to be honest, with innovative, effective partnerships. We really believe that we cannot solve all the problems and all the challenges in the world, and we need partnerships. So this is one of the things with OpenHack. We really think that this is a very good idea to be here with you today. And we really fit into some of the SDGs, or most of them perhaps, but some of them like poverty, inequality, education, health, social and child protection, and decent work. And that is the whole spectrum of our programs. Everything from education to health to medicine, clinics, and so on. And to actually work with the children so that they can actually live in care, we call it live in care, that they can also walk out of our program and have a future and be self-sufficient. So what do? We give loving and supportive alternative care. We prevent family breakdown. Alternative care, what could that be? If you don't have a family, yes, you might have a grandfather or a sister or some kind of person close to you that you can live with, and definitely ensure that children's rights are met. It's very strong now with the new laws coming out, and of course education, health, and living care. So that is basically very short what we do. And it's a privilege to be able to work with the children and our future. The case we have is very, very important at the moment, taking into consideration the coronavirus. How do we make education accessible to children who live in vulnerability? Every child has a right to education. My parents are teachers, both of them. I really believe in this. And it's also according to the UN. But 9 out of 10 children are lacking education in school due to the pandemic at the moment. There are information saying that another 40 million children are refugees and therefore miss out on school. For instance, Syria, the war in Syria has been going on for over 10 years, and the children have not been able to attend school the way that they need. And if you look at researchers that have studied this, the impact, for instance, of closed schools during the Second World War, they found out that these children without education during these years, during the coming years, they had lower income for up to 40 years. So, and we don't just talk about the third world or the poorest countries. We talk of the United States, Spain, where the accessibility to education digitally and in other ways during the corona has been very, it's given to a few, but not to everyone. So our goal with this case is we want to make education accessible to the children who are suffering the lack of education due to the situation. One thing that is very important here is that girls, if they have been able to go to school, they're taken out of school, we know for sure that teenage pregnancies and that they will never return to school again after the crisis has, it has stopped. So we have got them to school, this happens, and we may not even get them back. So it's also a gender problem. So how to allow personal development and education affecting their future and social environment. To make education accessible for the world's children in extremely vulnerable situation. We want to make education accessible to the children who are suffering the lack of education due to their situation. I have one example out of one boy in Ethiopia with the programs we have. He loved school. He simply loved the schools. And he was so sad that he couldn't attend. So SOS Child Villages helped him with the radio to be able to access classes. That is one tool that you can actually use. So there are many aspects to this problem. So I really hope you will take the challenge and think about the children, because there's so much power with these children and they love school. So thank you very much. I hope you will find this interesting enough, and I will be very curious to see the results. Thank you very much and good luck to you all.
Hey, thank you, Anna. Thank you for your amazing presentation. Barbie are such an important organization. You should go ahead and check them also on YouTube. So next we have Svenska Freds, and Caroline is going to present the case here. So handing you over, Caroline.
Thank you. I'm also going to share my screen. Yeah, so I'm from Svenska Freds. We're called the Swedish Peace and Arbitration Society in English. And also super excited to be part of OpenHack, and I'm sure you will bring a lot of really interesting solutions to this case. So shortly about the Svenska Freds. We are the world's oldest and Sweden's largest peace organization. We are an association for people who believe that conflicts can be resolved without violence and that war can be prevented through collaboration, economic means, and diplomacy. And we work towards this sustainable peace by spreading knowledge, forming public opinion, and influencing decision makers. And today we consist of 6,000 members in Sweden. We have one office in Stockholm, our main office, and then we have 7 local associations all around the country. And peace is a really broad area. And then we have at Svenska Freds certain focus areas. And today I would like us to focus on one main area, which is called disarmament. And that means, in general terms, diminishing the power of military and weapons, and with other means, increasing democracy and hence build sustainable peace. And within disarmament, we have also focus questions that we talk about. And what we're mostly known for, I would say, is policy building against the Swedish arms export. So last year, for example, Swedish arms export rose from 11.4 billion to 16.3 billion Swedish krona. Sweden is also one of the largest exporters of arms in the world per capita. And 1/3 almost of the total arms exports went to non-democracies and countries active in war. One of them is the United Arab Emirates, which is one part in the conflict in Yemen. We also work with, on a broader level, about Sweden's military spendings and what we would call humanitarian safety, where we want to shift the perspective from saying we need more money to build up our armies, which will make people safe. But then how do we turn this idea around when we talk about safety? Where we say, well, actually we want to spend more money on education systems, as Anna already talked about on healthcare, and these issues. Also, maybe prevention of climate change is actually something that will make us be safe instead of putting all this money in the army. And as you might know, the Swedish military spendings on defense, on the army, is also increasing now every year, planned to do so for 5 years, from about 60 billion to up to 90 billion in the coming 5 years. And then we also work on a fairly new area for us. We existed for 140 years, so killer robots we only worked on since like 2012, so that's new for us. But that means killer robots is basically militarized AI. So what happens when weapon producers use AI in these weapon systems? If AI is supposed to make decision on its own, who will then be responsible for killing, and who is about to make these decisions in war? And what we work on there is the regulations, because there are still no laws that are focus on AI. So the broad challenge here, because many of these areas are quite complicated, and it's the decisions are made in Riksdagen, in the parliament, and the processes can be quite complicated. The public opinion can say one thing, but what does the parties actually do? And how do they talk about these questions? So the broad challenge is, how do we make information about arms trade and conflict more accessible and easy to understand? We want to, that is a way for us to contributing to democracy in a way, and saying like, this is what the politicians say about arms trade, for example. And then I also got a question on the Discord. Is there anything in particular you want to look into? So you can read more there. But I really encourage you to keep the brief broad. So of course you can really dive into what we say that we need, but maybe that is not the best solution for the challenge. So the goal in general is to create awareness about Sweden's arms trade and military spending. Our vision is to empower better decision making in order to build sustainable peace. And some basic requirements is that you pull data from trusted sources. I will send I have a small list of data sources that you can use. And it should be easy for us to update information and fact check, basically. And the end user is anyone interested in disarmament, and it could be students, journalists, politicians. So we work a lot towards policymakers, journalists, yes, and shortly about data sources, you can find some information on our website, svenskafreds.se. Not everything is in English, but you can, of course, Google Translate the page. We have a book called Den svenska vapenexporten. It's also in Swedish. It's called the Swedish arms trade. And then you can also, if you want to look at what we said that we need is to look into the motions and propositions that come into Riksdagen, the parliament, and on their side you can look at the motions that they have already treated to see what the parties say in different areas around arms trade and such. Then we also did a campaign last year called Kickstart World Peace, and that campaign is about military spendings. It's not so much information there, but that site is at least in English. And if you more look into nuclear disarmament, you can look at icanw.org. That is an international network we are part of that also received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2017. And if you want to look at killer robots, militarized AI, you can look at stopkillerrobots.org. Yeah, and then yeah, good luck and challenge the brief and have fun.
Right, thank you, Caroline.
Thank
you. That's Caroline from Svenska Freds. Your organization is crucial. The importance of it could not be overstated. So next on, we have again Uppsala University and Sensitive, Vaisak. So welcome, Vaisak, and take us through.
Hi, pleasure to be here. I hope you all can hear me and see my screen. I cannot hear you, but I'm going to take that as a yes. Thank you for Kedar, Anna, and Caroline for that wonderful presentation before me. I will now start with our case. So Sensitive, what do we intend to do? We want to simplify pregnancy. So our goal is to make an intuitive and safe remote pregnancy monitoring device to ensure a more stress-free experience, pregnancy experience for the entire family. Yes, about us. Right now, we are a very small group of multidisciplinary people. We are a startup, very early startup stage. We've gotten into a couple of incubation programs. We're setting up funds for our early growth. And of course, you can see that we are a bunch of passionate people, and there is definitely a problem here in society with mothers, expectant mothers, having a lot of trouble with their whole pregnancy experience. It can either be something personal or it can be something, how do you say, social, something external like COVID or whatever. So there are some challenges that every mother goes through, and it puts extra stress that really doesn't need to be there. So we want to provide them and their babies a personalized prenatal care. So it would be patient tailored. So every mother would get the information that she requires based on her body type or her experiences from the past. So our problem here is that, let's talk about Sweden here. We zoom in now. There's a lack of personalized and real-time medical support to expectant mothers in Sweden or any European country, for the matter of fact. There are set time periods where a mother can go to the doctor, and there's also a midwife in between sometimes. So most of these consultations can even take over via phone. And so sometimes we feel that mothers might not feel, how do you say, like personalized care is given, or this real-time care. They have to hold up with their experiences or wait to ask the questions or wait to get it answered. We feel that could be a niggle here in the system. There are excessive concerns over a baby's development, which for a woman, so maybe if the baby hasn't moved in a bit, or it hasn't kicked, or she's feeling unwell, there are contractions. So is this supposed to happen, or is it not supposed to happen? So that sort of a dichotomy places a lot of pressure on the minds of the women. and the family, her husband or a partner, of course. Physical trips to the physician at this point of time when COVID is around, it's a bit scary per se, because we still don't understand the virus all that well. And we want to make sure that, not we as a society, we want to make sure that people are kept as safe away from the virus as possible. So we feel that these three problems characterize our product, the need for a product, pretty well. The situation, you might have heard that Sweden has had some problems with its maternity industry, sort of. Not industry, that's the wrong way to put it. With the, let's say, you must have heard the news of the maternity crisis, where lots of women were forced to give births in, let's say, cars and buses and stuff, because there was a lack of maternity clinics. This happened some time ago in around 2017. And recently also, you might be able to read a lot of news about how the COVID-19 situation is affecting hospitals. And so even though Sweden is an exceptionally great country to be giving birth in, it ranks very highly, I think, at around third best country in the world to give birth. There are a lot of stillbirths that are still unaccountable for. In fact, 30 to 70% of 30-50% of stillbirths is still unaccountable for. So even doctors don't really know the complete reason behind them. And this is not in Sweden, this is worldwide. So what is our utopia? What do we want to see? We want to see a world where expectant mothers know exactly where they are in the stage of pregnancy. We want to help them monitor their pregnancy themselves, and with the help of an intuitive device and very safe to use technology. The medical personnel, in this case, the physician or the midwife, can also have access to these, how do you say, information, the data that is being collected right now. And how this will happen, I will get to in the next slide. So that they don't really have to be there in person for the physician to give them the most effective advice based on the highest quality of information available. The third part is that the partner of the pregnant woman is also under a lot of stress, because they're away from home, they're probably working, or they probably have to travel. And it could be scary, like to keep tabs, or like to know what if something bad has happened, because that's how the human mind thinks, right? So you want to make sure that the entire family and the doctors are both covered in this with our product, our solution. So this is our solution. You see here, this is supposed to be a sensor, and this is a Bluetooth device, and it's a Bluetooth enabled device, and it connects to a phone. So how this works is that we are using a combination of sensors. We cannot disclose the technical details as of right now. So we're using a combination of sensors that's supposed to measure vitals that we select. Let's say, for example, blood pressure, just an example. That's not what we're doing. Maybe, who knows? So what our sensor system is supposed to sensor, our collection of sensor array is supposed to do is measure these vitals from both the mother and the child, and make sure that it gets into our mobile app, which could be machine learning and AI powered, where it analyzes all the data at a real-time level, compares it with old-time data, compares it with how the mother is feeling. So it's going to be a very intuitive app system. And then the mobile app can provide data regarding what exactly she's feeling in the case that the mother feels that she's having contractions that are weird. So by comparing the contractions with what is supposed to be happening, or if it is actually supposed to, if this is a normal situation, the app can tell her itself that, look, this is nothing to be worried about, maybe, and also recommend actions, not medical advice, but things that she can do to calm herself down. And then in case that something does go out of hand, something gets more critical, the app can intimate her to get in touch with the doctor immediately. And also, all this data, all this information will be stored. It can be extracted by the doctor as well. And so anytime she wants to know the information about the patient, she or he can request information and then receive it, so that from afar, they're able to make the best decision. So this is, of course, a market opportunity. Like I mentioned, Sweden maternity crisis, connected devices have never been more accessible and cheaper. So we feel that a connected device that is easy to use, accessible, and safe, of course, is the way to move forward and help mothers and doctors in this particular time. So our questions are as follows. How do we improve the reporting case of the causes of stillbirth? Like I mentioned, 30 to 50% of stillbirth cases are still unexplained. What is it that we can measure in order to forecast or predict such a terrible event? How do we improve access and availability of high quality prenatal and delivery care? Why should mothers be interested? So this is basically a UI UX based question. Like the user experience has to be good enough. What they only need the information that it shouldn't be too much information to make them worry. It shouldn't be too less information to not be useless. That's a fine line we have to walk there. How do we reduce the social stigma associated with delivering a stillborn child? Uh, Stillborn delivery is still a stigma in society, especially maybe in the developing countries. So how do we get past this? First of all, we want to avoid this. Second of all, how do we reduce those social stigma associated with such a problem? The fourth question would be, how can we assist expecting mothers and couples in having more control over their pregnancy? So these are the questions that we've formulated so far. I my, myself and our team will also be available on Discord in order to take over any questions that you may have and hopefully help you along in your journey. That's all from us today. Thank you for your time.
Right. Thanks again, Vaisak. That was from Uppsala University and Sensitive. Vaisak, thanks again. So, and that concludes our case presenters. I just wanted to add here that they are all on Discord. So if you need to ask them any question, just feel free to just go ahead and ask them. They're there for your support. So keep that in mind. So moving forward to the evaluation criteria. So it's team's execution during the hackathon is the first criteria. The team potential, the potential impact of the idea on the world, and the demo, of course, of the solution. So here are our mentors. We already mentioned our leading mentor, Alex Maxia, Lost in the Cup. And then we have Patrick Couch from IBM, Victoria Wagman from 46 Elks, and I'm really sorry if I happen to mispronounce any of your names. I apologize in advance. We have Matthias Bask and Johan Bergqvist from SOS Barnbiår. We have Tony Makarik from Södertälje kommun, Vaisak Vuzadev from Uppsala University Innovation, and we have Saran from Sandvik, I'm sorry. And then we have Lopez Eposito and Marcus Mullen from Blue Hands Digital. All right, then we also really happy to present to you the Stockholm 2020 Hackathon Soundtrack, made by Jarno Eirola, a talented artist from Finland. 20 years of experience in turning nature forces into startup wisdom. We're also going to provide you with a link to the soundtrack, of course, on Discord. Do not miss that out. So moving on, we have we have the prizes, and here we have a video from Antler. So they presented the #1 prize. Let's go ahead and see the pre-recorded video they have for us. This is our #1 prize, right? Let's go ahead.
The sound is not playing.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Anders Hammerbeck. Good evening and welcome. My name is Anders Hammerbeck and I represent Antler, an early stage venture capital firm and a company builder. We are present all over the world in about 14 cities, and we build companies together, forming entrepreneurs together and great ideas. And we build on that to form scalable businesses. Now we're super excited to partner with OpenHack for this weekend's hackathon. We're offering a special prize to the one solution that has the most potential. Normally, we receive 3,000 applications each year, and we will let this solution fast track to the last stage of the process to save a lot of time. For anyone else who's interested in Antler and would like to know more, please reach out to me, Anders Hammerbeck, over email or LinkedIn, or visit our website, www.antler.co/Stockholm to find out more. With that, have a fantastic weekend and good luck and success with your innovation and venture building. Thank you very much.
So that is our #1 prize, again from Antler. It's an amazing opportunity to skip all the steps and go directly to the final stage. There's a lot of competition out there, and it's just a really unique opportunity. So next one we have Urbanista, and we have 6 Urbanista pairs of headphones for Stockholm 2020 hackathon winners. And we also have another prize, and that is from Geeks for Geeks. And the winning team will have personal classes from Geeks for Geeks. So you'll just log in and choose whatever course you like, and that'll be yours. So we are now entering an innovation zone. Please proceed only with great ideas. So stay home, hack all day, and put on your mask whenever you need to. Thank you, everyone, and have a legendary weekend. Bye-bye.